Mark Zuckerberg says that the Biden administration would call Meta to scream and curse at them to censor true information on their platforms. Let's listen to Mr. Zuckerberg with Joe Rogan.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we were, but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there, and they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years...
What's happened to Mark Zuckerberg? I thought he used to censor people, and now he thinks he's all about free speech. A bit different.
For this kind of payment, this sort of class action lawsuit type meme, and they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people.
So Elon Musk took over Twitter and turned it into X, and there was a kind of a shift in the political message or the bias on Twitter or X. Now it seems that Zuckerberg has shifted to the right. Is he a Trump supporter?
When it went from 2 weeks to flatten the curve to
not sure what he's talking about there, but he claims that the Biden administration would phone him up and threaten to threaten him to change the message. Let's just remember what was on TV around that time. Let's have a little look at this. This is Channel 5 in the UK.
I cannot understand for the life of me why people believe this rubbish on the internet, the anti-vax propaganda. It is deranged. We know there's figures from the Office of National Statistics that say, what is it, you're 32,000 times more likely to die if you've not been double jabbed from COVID. There's no possible reason, unless you've got underlying health symptoms, not to have the jab. But my worry about doing it is, how do you enforce it? Do you stop everybody in the street? Who's going to stop people in the street? We don't have enough police officers on the beat anyway, so how would you make it work in Britain?
Well, you'd do it through snitches, wouldn't you, Storm? That worked.
Me uneasy.
It worked in lockdown. We had people saying, get round, we can hear a karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, I think if anyone was having parties,
But this is Austria.
this would work. But I don't think, even if you called up the police and said, oh, I've seen my neighbour go out to their friend's house, you can't, there's no proof of that if they end up back at their house.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, so what the police do is they do spot checks. Right. So when you're at shopping, you might see an officer, and the officer says, show me your card.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to risk having a fake card, you can do it, but you'd be in a lot of trouble.
But then what happens if you break the rules? Are they going to imprison them in Austria? Fine them?
There's a question.
In France, well, there was only one...
prisons full of unvaccinated people. Sorry.
In France, in Paris, there was only one person who was unvaccinated on the platform, and a security guard came up and said, I don't know, that'll be 192 or 162 euro fine.
So how did he know he was unvaccinated?
No, this was to do with making sure everybody's masked.
Yeah.
So they're taking very rigorous action.
He was unmasked.
But nowhere could you go to the museums or anywhere without showing your vaccination record.
Yeah, well, listen, when I go and see the football, as I've mentioned many times, they asked to see I'm double vaccinated. This is a crowd of 43,000 going to a football stadium.
And people aren't wearing masks. But you're outside.
We're outside, and in the end, I think they just feel it's reassuring.
But we know that the football in the Euros, there was a spike around the football stadiums. We know
there was.
I don't think here this government would bring down this kind of lockdown. The public opinion would.
If things went worse, I don't know. I think people are a bit intolerant of the anti-vax crew.
Now,
So the American government were threatening Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, there's our friend Alex. They do this over and over and over, and you had people on on TV calling for the police to enforce the measures. Are you ready for this if it happens again? Is this the only way we can cope with an outbreak?